Now, I'm outside a town called Williamston, and I'm at the cemetery visiting a grave of one of the parents of this unfortunate event. Now, this story is one of the more crazier stories I have found. This story is all about Alfred and Martha Haney. Alfred's wife, Martha, ended up murdering Alfred's mom in a very, very horrific way. As you see the title and thumbnail, that's pretty crazy. So let's get into the whole story. Now, this story starts with Martha Haney, who was married to Alfred Haney, and they both lived with Alfred's mom named Mariah. Now, the actual murder happened on April 23rd, 1897. Police had been called to the Haney household, which was located at 320 Elevator Street, again here in Williamston. When police arrived, they entered and saw tons and tons of blood everywhere, on the floor, on the walls, and tons of hair, as well as dents in the floor, as if someone had hit the floor with a very heavy weapon. The police also saw a trail of blood leading out of the room, as if someone had dragged a body towards the back of the house. The police eventually made their way to the kitchen, and this is where they saw the gruesome scene of Mariah Haney. Her body had been burned, and she had been decapitated. Police found her head, which was put on a plate on the kitchen table, as well as tons of plates of rotted food surrounding the head. And Mariah's head was actually facing one specific seat at the table. Now, of course, police began to investigate the rest of the house, searching for a murder weapon. Eventually, police tracked down a blood-soaked axe, which was underneath the stairs. Now, Mariah was somewhere between the age of 80 and 85, again, depending on what source you find. And from what I've been reading, this was actually her house, and she was living there with Alfred, her son, and Alfred's wife, Martha. Now, Mariah did not trust Martha whatsoever, and she hated the fact that Alfred had married her. Alfred had reported that he saw his mom and wife fight all the time. At the scene of the crime, Martha was arrested. She was actually found in the backyard, digging with her hands, and when the police asked her what she was doing, she said that she had just murdered her mother-in-law. Martha, of course, was quickly brought to the village lockup. Now, the village doctor was called in to check on the state of Martha's mental health. When the police told him that they believed she had killed someone, the doctor just said that he wasn't surprised. Ironically, Martha was scheduled to have an appointment with the same doctor the morning of the murder. However, she did not show up. During questioning, Martha was found sitting on the ground and wouldn't really talk to the police, but would simply nod her head when the doctors would ask her questions. Eventually, she told them that she ended up killing Mariah. Martha mentioned that she hit Mariah with the butt of the axe in the face and knocked her to the floor. She then hit Mariah in the face with the blade of the axe and knocked her out. Martha then said she swung the axe twice to cut her head off. She then took the head and placed it on the table, facing Alfred's place at the table, so that, in quote, Mariah could look at her son. Martha said that she wasn't sure what to do with the body, so she decided to burn it using kerosene from an oil lamp. Now, while talking about the actual crime, Martha began to talk about her own mom as if her mom had been at the crime scene. Now, police realized that Martha's mom had actually died 7 years prior to this, and it became quite apparent that Martha was having some sort of mental illness or hallucination of some kind. Now, police, of course, tried to track down Alfred and tell him what happened, and they found him at a local pub with friends, and he told the police that he had actually returned home after work and found his mom's body and, of course, her head on a plate. And so he drove to the pub, as, of course, he was a complete mess and did not know what to do. Alfred told police that Martha had grown increasingly more and more quote-unquote sick in the last 3 weeks before the murder happened. He said that she became more and more violent as well. Now, Martha was eventually moved from the lockup to the village jail. Martha also began singing songs to herself, including one where she sang something like, "Oh, I can't go to heaven. To hell I must go. Murderers don't go to heaven, and that is where I'm bound to go." Eventually, Martha was deemed insane by 3 different doctors during her trial. She was eventually committed to the Michigan Asylum for the Criminally Insane. She ended up passing away only 17 months after her arrival at the insane asylum. Martha's grave is simply unknown. She was either cremated or maybe put in an unmarked grave. I also tried to find Alfred's grave, as he of course passed away, and I could not locate his grave as well. So the best I could do was find one of the Haney's either grandparents or other family member in this cemetery. Very crazy story. One that, again, is just super shocking. It happened so long ago, but it just is very interesting and sad, and I feel like it was one that I needed to do. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.